Thank you, Bayt, for hosting me. I really appreciate it. And we apologize for the delay, but seems that everybody on Zoom these days and on connectivities after the quarantines and everybody's using social medias these days. As you said, today, or actually, we are starting a new era in life. Maybe people did not expected it, and it was hard on everybody. However, every era has two parts, which is the negative part and the positive part. And today, the employees themselves, they have vagueness and they start having the anxiety and where the future will go and what we will do in our lives, how we will operate. This starts, if you take it from another perspective, it's like the change management curfew that we all know, which is the curfew that starts with the shock, the anxiety, the denial phase, and then we go into poise, and we want to see what's going to happen. And then we will start about the changing and moving into the future. Now, the future today, and if we want to look at it from the short-term perspective, as people will need to think about it, we need to survive. Businesses needs to survive. It's different now. It's not about the long-term plans. It's not about the dynamism of the market, because today everybody's looking and learning what's going to happen. So survival is the motto that we need to look at, how we will survive at this short-term era or phase. The subject we're talking about today is how we sustain the employees' productivity in such crisis. Because, you know, after the anxiety, they got used to it. After quarantine, they think, okay, now things are clear. I'm following up with the government, with the news. What should I do later? The first thing as a company, we need to make sure that we show the safety come first to employees. Our employees are our resources and assets. We need to give them or to show them the empathy. This empathy that we care and we believe that you come first, then we will think about the business. Then you will start feeling that people, they feel that they are within a company that take care of them, and they will start feeling calm, relaxed a little bit, and they will have the mutual feeling as well, the empathy as well with the company. So this really matters to the employees. The second part is we need to start thinking and we need to encourage the communication. Disconnection will be the big problem. You have to be always encouraging the communication with your employees through the Zoom, the webinars, the social media, any tools, even the phone. Give them the updates, taking care of them in terms of any needs they need, clarifying some decisions by the government, what's the situation of the company. By this, you will make the employee feels he's engaged with what's going on. It's not he's disconnected from the company, that the company is just thinking about the business and what's going to happen with the business, but they're not thinking about their employees. When they start feeling that the company is communicating and there's a communication between the manager or the top management or the HR with the employees, they feel they are engaged, they're not disconnected. The other thing as a manager now, we will go into each function and manager, you need to build the expectations and goals. Now the employee got engaged, they're following all the news, they're following everything's going on. Now he needs to know what's expected from him. He's working remotely, he's working at home. So what's expected from me? He needs to have a clarity from his management. Now the path should be different from the management, and the clarity should be on the goals and expectations from each employee, where he should go, what we can do in this period of time, how we can fill our time and get engaged and make ourselves more productive. Of course, there are too many things and aspects in business on day-to-day activities we can't work on, because, you know, every day we have people coming in the offices, you have tasks, you have operational part that you do. When you work at home, I believe it's the time that you need to focus on the strategic parts or the points that you never focused on. Reshuffle the whole business structure, look at all the aspects from different perspectives. These are the things that you need to look at as an employee, as a manager. So once the goals and expectations are clear, you put a plan and you put a timeline and you deal with it like a project, even if you're home. Day-to-day discussions, day-to-day meetings, feedback, timeline, where we are, what's going to happen next. We'll work on it as a full project. Now, another thing that you can take care of the employees and make them more feel comfortable and productive, it's a chance for you from home to start having the one-to-one discussions or career discussions, growth and expectations of the future. Again, when we have the day-to-day activities, when we have daily operations, we can have 1 to 2 sessions per year, and sometimes many managements miss that, to have a one-to-one discussion about each employee, with the employee actually, where he's gonna go in the ladder or in the structure. And at the anxiety level now, people will think, now businesses will start reshuffling and maybe we will have no career growth, I'm stuck. No, good businesses now, they will start letting people see the opportunity of the growth, discussing, maybe they are sharing thoughts about changing the dynamism of the business at this stage. So this is another part that we can take a step and opportunity to give an engagement and productivity for the employees to think about. Moving after the career discussion, we can put some training plan, courses that you can do it on the system, online. We can have in-house. How we say in-house, we have train the trainers. You can have good employees who are good in training. They can give, like example, a course for finance for the non-finance, or HR for the non-HR, which is cross-functional. Plus, you can do some awareness sessions about certain things related to the culture, the values, code of conduct, different types of things in terms of even soft skills. So training and development is another part that is important to engage the employees and make them feel that this is a good chance for me to learn. The other part, which is making too many meetings through social media, or the webinars. You can gather the team on, after iftar. Now, since we are in Ramadan, you can have a coffee break if it's not Ramadan in other countries. You can have lunch together, just a casual meetings, a happy hour that you can discuss with each other how things goes, share the anxiety. What do you think about some decisions that's happening? Do you have ideas? Build a culture of engagement, This also will make them always engaged. Last but not least, the most important part is to make the employees still recognized. Now, some employees, especially those who goes on the field, they are taking risks at this stage. And they are doing a lot of things that people might not do, and they are staying home. Like, the FMCG companies, they're going into the market, dealing with customers and consumers. Some other telecom, they have shops to deal with. Too many sectors. These people should be rewarded and recognized. They need to feel that what they did for the company is big. Plus, they will feel that they are really appreciated at this time and crisis of the year. These points, for me, to be honest, they are more into engaging employees. They are more into sustaining their productivity. Plus, we always need to evaluate these steps and points and check whether it's giving its value to the employees and we feel them engaged and not disconnected. So I will give you the floor if you have any quick questions. I made it quick because we lost a little time, or maybe like couple of minutes. So I will give you the floor if you have any question, or we can engage the employee, the audience in any questions they like.
Thank you so much, Motassem. So we have some questions coming in. The first question being, thank you for the informative session. Are there any tools or strategies that help you assess employees' productivity while working remotely?
That's a good question. Of course, you have too many now in the good businesses. You have online systems that you assess and evaluate. Even if you went remotely, you still can use these systems. Now, for the companies that don't have systems online, like some tools of HR modules into performance management, project management. They can build it on very simple tools through Excel sheets with tasks and project management, timelines, feedback, where do we stand, KPIs, scorecards. The scorecards is a good tool if you don't have the systems or you cannot work remotely on systems. You put the scorecards and you keep following up in terms of these KPIs, where do you stand? But definitely the scorecards and KPIs and performance management as an important tool to keep following up and monitoring the progress of the employees, even when they are staying home.
Thank you, Motassem. Another question that has come in, now that Jordan is opening back up, do you foresee difficulties with bringing the full workforce back and going back to normalcy? I guess this is a question that's on everyone's mind at the moment.
Yeah, actually, it depends on the sector itself. These days, everybody's learning of what's happening, even the government themselves, because it never happened before. Now, some sectors, they are operating because, there is a shuffle in the need in the market. Today, you can see that the food and beverage, the telecom, the e-commerce, the demand is high on it now. It's changing because these are the sectors that people start demanding more on. Some other, which I believe they are impacted for a while because they cannot go and operate. Now, let's take two parts. The first part, which is the FMCG, you have also two parts in them, which is the field and the offices. Now, the field, you need to maintain the safety and you maintain all the needs that you need to do and let the people go without anxiety to do the service for the country, to do the service for the consumer. For the people who are in the offices, you need also to maintain the safety. You need to keep them engaged, as we said. And also, we can go back to offices gradually when the government allow that by rotation, the rotation and the shifts. You can work on shifting the people. 50% can come to the office, 50% can work from home. This is for the sectors who are available now or they can work. Now, for the sectors who didn't, they need to follow what we talked about at the beginning of the session, put the project timeline, because they will be still waiting for what the government will give them instruction, whether to go or not. If they give them the instructions to go gradually, then they will follow what happened with the FMCG or the sectors that they started. They can go gradually with minimum percentage, rotating people, following the safety instructions and social distancing and all the aspects that they talk about.
I personally, I've been seeing an increase in productivity with the virtual work nowadays, once people have gotten used to the working from home. So I guess my personal question is, do you think there will be difficulties with maintaining productivity once we actually do go back to the offices?
Well, you will laugh about this, but trust me, some people, they felt that they need to go to the offices more than they work from home. I will be more specific into females and mothers. The mothers today, when they were working from offices, they feel that they need to be around their children because they will be doing their job and at the same time taking care of the kids. Now, when they start working from home, they start feeling that they have too many distractions and interruptions. They feel that they need to have their space at the offices. So it varies from someone to another. However, if you have the space, if you have the good timing, I believe even in the offices, sometimes you have day-to-day interruptions. So the productivity will be more when you work at home in some cases or most of the cases. Why? Because everything is around you. You don't have to worry about anything. While in other cases, I believe the offices is the best place that you work at because you need to avoid the house interruptions. The house interruptions, there are too many things. The guard will ring the bell. You have your children. So the productivity will be a bit shaky. But all in all, for both sides, if you have a good atmosphere and space to think and to work, you will produce no matter where you are.
Very true. Thank you, Motassem. I do see some questions coming in through chat as well, so I'll pick some up from over there. Um, we have a question from Nizar. What are the most important points to focus on in our communication during such times?
Very good question. And maybe I'm not going to say I missed that, but I should have engaged it. I'll talk about it more. Positive vibes, we cannot share communication by always showing like they say, the example, the empty part of the glass. You need always to focus on the positive vibes. Even if we are impacted in the business, as I said, it's the time to survive. It's not the time to expand the business. It's not the time to have exposure on different kind of ways of working. No, these days we need to have innovation ideas how to survive. How to survive? Focus on positive vibes. Engage the employees. Every communication should start and focusing on how to be positive, how to take care of your health. Health comes first. What type of uh, actions that we can take and to go back on the path. If we are suffering from something, what's the positive part that we can solve it? So all in all, it's the positiveness. Positiveness is the main thing in our communication.
Very true. And I think the situation did need a lot of positivity to keep everyone's hopes and spirits up, as well as productivity.
Yeah.
So a question from Zaid. What is the marketing role in light of COVID-19? Do you have any inputs on that?
Yeah. Now the marketing, they have too many parts of the marketing, but 3 years or 5 years or even 7 years ago, everything is shifting into marketing. Maybe today it's the best time to believe that it's the new era of marketing. It's the marketing. The social media, Facebook, Instagram, the visual marketing is important today. However, maybe his question will be directed also into the field marketing, which is the trade marketing, go-to market, the branding, because usually we do this on the field, in the streets. You can see banners, billboards, all of these things. Definitely today, in such situation, it's impacted. However, all the companies need to shift into the marketing and use the promotion through social media, definitely, with all situations, and keep it visual and creative and innovative.
Thank you, Motassem. Being in the marketing department at Bayt, I definitely agree with you. There has been a lot of, we've definitely amped up our activities digitally, just to be able to connect more often with our clients and with our customers. So, of course, it makes sense. Another question that has come in from Vikan. As Sada said, I feel I am more productive when working at home. Do you recommend employers and company owners to let their employees work from home? I guess he means moving forward.
Yeah. I'll share with you a practice that we do at Pepsi. We have every Tuesday a work from home strategy that we do for our employees who work at the offices, which you can work from home mid of the week, so you can have the weekend and mid of the week and then another weekend. And we believe it's productive. Now, at the beginning, always the employers they think about resisting this. However, in Pepsi, we believe it's totally work-life balance and more productive. I believe this era, or what's happening now, maybe it will show that this is an important step, and productivity plus from business perspective is important because you are reducing costs. If you go and look at the hidden costs, when the employees at the offices, if you will think business perspective, you have lights on, computers on, laptops, connections, logistics, all this, it will be reduced. If you balance it and evaluate it, you'll see that, wow, I'm saving on this part, if you will think from business. From productivity, as I said, it depends the space that you have at home. If you have a good space, a good atmosphere, definitely you'll be productive because the interruption will be less. You know, you don't have customers, consumers coming back and forth. But again, it depends on the nature of the job.
Of course, thank you. So we have two questions that are a little bit similar. So question one is, how have you dealt with people whose job has decreased in load or stopped during this phase?
This is important to make sure that you encourage these people. You know, you cannot show them that they're not important anymore. You need to show them the empathy and the understanding at this stage, and to emphasize that hopefully it's a short term. It's not going to be a long term. This is as a first step. You cannot come and highlight to the person or to the employee, now you're stopping, I'm paying you salary, you're not working. That's, you know, and giving some comments like that. No, you need to show the flexibility, because we believe it's a short term. Hopefully it's not long term. And this employee at this stage is not working, but on later stage he will go back to work. When you show him this flexibility and empathy, you will build up the loyalty, and he will believe that, oh, okay, I'm not working, but how can I help? Now, on another part, we need to be creative in some cases, because I know some others we can't, and engage these people. Even if it's not a work, you can do sessions of training, the career discussion, the development. Some other employees, they don't use laptops, they don't have online, you know. This is a major challenge. These people, you need to be in touch with them through the phone. Talk to them. Don't only just believe that the social media or the laptops or the tools, the technology tools, they are the good things that you use. Even on the smartphones, these people don't have laptops, but they have smartphones. You can have the Zoom, the Microsoft Team, all downloaded apps, and you can talk to them. But the main thing is you need to stay in touch with them, give them the empathy again, give them the flexibility, give them the courage that to encourage them to keep working, and they will go back to work soon. It's just a phase.
Thank you, Motassem. A couple more questions for you. So if you have been asked to mention three major aspects that have been revolutionized in business world due to what happened, what are they in your opinion?
Definitely the marketing and sales and e-commerce, let's say. This is a very important part. Another part, which is a revolution on health. You know, many companies, they didn't focus on the health and safety part. It's not related to coronavirus or COVID-19. There are too many elements of health and safety is important that will lead to other major things that might happen. So the safety procedure at this phase can give an insight or an information to companies, especially the industrial ones, how much health and safety is important. This is another revolution. The third part, which is the virtual work, which is work from home, from any place. I think the flexibility in the virtual jobs is important today also as well. Those are three revolutions businesses should look into, and maybe it might be the new era of life. If the COVID-19 took time, like 6 months from now, we don't know how it's gonna go or it's gonna happen. You need to think about these three things.
I think it's definitely changed the way we work, and it's changed the way we've started looking at, the office environment and the office presence.
Yeah.
All right, one more question for you before we go ahead and wrap this up. So what can employers do for employees that are non-productive right now due to the circumstances, but are a good fit for the company? So I guess in a lot of cases, many companies have had to look at costs and look at budgets and how to reduce those. But in some cases, employees are such great culture fits at the companies. So how do you balance that?
That's a really important and good point, because you have a hypo employees that they are non-productive, but if you give them, they will be really productive. As we said, the dynamism of the market changed, so this will reflect on the change in the structure. The change in the structure means that you need to change the way of working and operating. If you believe these people or these employees are really important and they have the future with us, definitely you need to plug them into the structure of or the new way of operating. Now, you cannot keep these people in their comfort zone or in their current job descriptions. Since you believe they are good enough, you can use them and utilize them in cross-functional, or you can help them or give them the challenge. Like if someone is in the supply chain and the sales now or distribution is working, you can utilize this kind of mindset into helping you in the distribution. Because at the end, you need resources no matter what. People believe that because of the crisis, the headcount will be reduced. No way. Because at the end, the economy, if it will work, it will never work without resources. We don't have robots to work. Maybe it will be reduced. Yes, I agree. But smart businesses, as you mentioned this point, they need to reshuffle their headcount or their employees into a different kind of structure rather than doing it a hierarchy style into a flat, maybe cross-functional, whatever, to utilize the job descriptions and the competencies of the people.
Very true. And we've seen this at Bayt, and I'm sure many other companies have seen it, where the crisis has really encouraged a lot of innovation from different employees. And when you put them in different roles or you ask them to do things that they don't usually do. So it definitely has produced a lot more innovation and creativity during this time.
Good,
Thank you so much, Motassem. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for everyone who attended. Don't forget, we've got a few more speakers lined up for today. Mr. Daniel Sharaiha at 2 p.m. and Dr. Ma'an Qatamin at 3 p.m. Jordan time.
Yeah.
Motassem, thank you once again.
Bayt. Yeah, thank you again for Bayt for this opportunity and to sharing from the experience, and for you in specific and your team and everyone who attended. And again, I apologize about the delay, but it's out of my hands. It's the connectivity issue. So stay positive, stay safe, and good luck in the future.